Hello, it's me, Mr. David again. Today in class, you're going to be doing a one-point perspective drawing. In this video, I'm going to show you a couple of things about perspective that should help you with your work. Perspective is very complicated. It's not something that everybody understands like right away. It takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of time. So be patient with yourself and try to remember the three main rules or the three main types of lines that you should be creating in your work. I'm going to say this over and over again in the video you're about to watch, but I'm going to say it again here, okay? Your lines in your picture should be vertical, horizontal, and orthogonal. Now, what does orthogonal mean? You're going to find out in just a minute. Good luck on your drawings. Things that are close to us are larger and they appear differently than the same exact thing when it's further away. So here's a very simple example. I take our guy Charlie Brown right here and I hold him close to the camera, okay? Now when I hold him further and further and further and further and further away, he appears to shrink, right? But he doesn't actually shrink, he just gets smaller because of something called perspective. It's an illusion that we need to utilize in order to create a drawing that looks realistic. So one of the most important things in perspective drawing is understanding where the horizon is. Horizon is a word that can also be interchangeable, meaning you can switch it out with eye level. So it's the level that the end of your sight changes. It's like kind of when you look at the ocean and you see where the sky is versus where the water is. That's the horizon, okay? So I'm gonna arbitrarily put a horizon on here. I'm gonna put a horizon right here, okay? And you may already have noticed that the word horizon kind of sounds like a direction, right? So the horizon is this line that goes from left to right. And that brings me to my next point. In this drawing, a one-point perspective drawing, you're gonna be able to make three different types of lines, okay? Three different types of lines. And the first one, like the horizon, okay, it's a direction of line that goes from left to right. And that is called horizontal. All right. And the second type of line you're going to make is called vertical. And vertical lines just go up and down, okay? And then lastly, you're going to make a type of line that is called, I'm going to tell you what it's called first. It's called an orthogonal line. And an orthogonal line is like a diagonal line, so let me give you an example real quick. This is horizontal, it goes from left to right. This is vertical, it goes up and down. This is diagonal, right? But then so is this, and so is this, and so is this. What's unique about orthogonal lines is that they go to a specific point in your picture. And that specific point is called the vanishing point. I'm gonna create some orthogonal lines that go to the vanishing point. I go like this, and I go like this, right? So these lines right here are both parallel and not parallel at the same time. They are parallel if you were looking at them from a bird's eye view, right? Those lines would be parallel to each other and they would never touch, right? But when we look at it from perspective, which is a word that's also kind of interchangeable with point of view, right? Those same lines appear to converge to the point where they disappear, right? Disappear, vanish, same thing, right? So that's basics of 1-point perspective. Every single line that you create in your picture is going to be a horizontal line, a vertical line, or an orthogonal line. All right? So I'm going to speed up the drawing, and I'm going to just give you a couple little examples here. So you can start to see a city appear, or at least structures that will eventually become a city. One thing that I think is really important to emphasize is that every single orthogonal line goes to the vanishing point. So again, I'm only making horizontal lines that go from left to right, vertical lines that go up and down, and then I'm making orthogonal lines. If any of you play basketball, creating orthogonal lines is not too different from pivoting, so you don't travel, right? So if somebody throws you of the ball, if you don't dribble, you can't move, but you can move your foot from left to right, your non-stationary foot. And that's kind of what 1-point perspective is like. Every single orthogonal line goes to the vanishing point. We're just kind of pivoting around that, okay? If I keep going, you can see that lines up, that lines up. So I don't have any lines that are going anywhere other than the vanishing point, left to right, and right to left. Are there other forms of perspective? There are. There is 2-point perspective, 3-point. In fact, it's actually pretty infinite. You can keep going and going and going. The way that we see the world, or the one that has the most illusion of reality, is probably 2-point perspective, or maybe 3 if you're really, really, really high up in a skyscraper or something like that, or you're looking up at a skyscraper. You see 3-point perspective usually in like buildings and things like that. Good luck on your drawings. Have a wonderful day and have fun making art. Goodbye.